you. And she said, I just want to tell you that I'm actually, my name is Pamela Featherstone, and I'm one of the leading global coaches in the world. In fact, she was Global Action Coach 2015, and she's UK Coach the 2016. She's extraordinary. She's based up in Hull. So she is my coach, because we all need a coach,
Absolutely. We all need a coach. Absolutely.
I have the best coach in the world. So that's another asset to a string to my bow.
Absolutely.
So I do this. I set up this business because there is a need for it, and there's a real need for it.
Absolutely. Can you tell us about some of the artists you've helped and to become successful, and can you name any specific names?
Well, that's one thing for all you guys out there. That's one thing that I can't do.
Okay.
Because there's some deeply personal work. I'd really love to. I can drop names all around it, but the actual clients that I'm working with at the moment, for confidential purposes, I can't actually tell you. And it's something I'm really, really proud of, because there is absolutely, and this is so important, particularly for the very high profile ones, they need the confidentiality. They need it so badly. So guys out there, you know who you are. You have my word. I can't say anything about that, but just know that the ones who you get talking about how much they want to help others, that'll give you a clue, because that's very much part of the repurposing artists, is to get them to really understand that they need to share not only their music and their message, but also their lives.
Absolutely. Wow. I mean, getting on the right path from the beginning of a music career, that can make the difference between having no career and struggling to forging a fantastic career for artists. So is it hard to decide who you're going to help in the long run, and who you may just give a certain amount of advice to when people ask you for help?
I can't be like that. It's what we do is we just make a start, and then some artists move on. Some want to stay a bit longer. Some want to dip in and out. It's what I do is I have, like I told you, the sort of, I've got the event now, which is a new thing, and I've got this 90-day coaching program, which is called the TPA Growth Club, and that the £2,500 one, and that is very much for artists to kind of see how far they get with the 90 days. Right. And that is designed to create results. So whether they want to take up a further 90 days, which they're invited to do, or whether they want to move up a notch and work on an even more personal basis with me, is up to them. So it's really flexible. I mean, some people want to just have a sort of day session with me. I can offer that. It's flexible. The only thing I have to say is that if it's the artist has to be serious about their business. They have to be serious about making a living income off it. This is not for hobbyists.
No. And that brings me very neatly to a question that I would love to ask you about. Now, most people see programs like X Factor and The Voice and things like that, and they think that can make them a star overnight. Please, would you dispel any notions of instant stardom for people who don't realise that that's not usually the case?
Well, listen, I just wrote about that on recently, but and so please go, if you're interested, go to my my blog, the blog section on my website. But for people who want to get instant fame in through the X Factor filter,
yes.
First of all, they get if they manage to get through the whole interview process, then they and they get through to the television shows, they will get instant exposure.
Yes.
Whether they get instant fame, yes, they do. Whilst the for the length of the show, the series running at the time, they will get a certain amount of fame. Right. But it's a very dissatisfactory fame. I hate to burst your bubbles, guys. It's just not. It's just it's just the idea and the actual reality are so different from each other. I mean, clearly the learning curve is amazing.
Yes.
There are some great benefits.
Yes.
I mean, to experience what the process that they take you through is extraordinary. So I don't want anybody not to go through this process, but they need to be really realistic about what is on offer.
Yeah.
There's this. It's a roller coaster. I mean,
absolutely.
There's the exposure, but then there's just the overexposure, and then there's massive amounts of disappointment. You have to kind of to manage your emotions.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, the only very, very select few, and I don't want to dismiss anybody out there, because there are, but I want to tell you that there are ways of having a very, very good income, earning a really good income from running the show and running your own business. You don't have to go to those lengths. And but those of you that do want to go there, good luck to you. And I really, I'm very happy to support you as well. But it's not. There are a lot of downsides. But please go and read my blog. I can't quote it now, but there's a blog. I can't remember what it was called, from the Guys of Fame or something.
Yep, I put that in my post for today. So don't worry, everything is going to be out there for people to see. It's
in there because it kind of goes through what you'll experience.
Absolutely.
And I was managing an artist until quite recently who did go through the process, several interviews, and I think at the fourth interview I got handed a 24-page contract from Psycho Productions. It's quite interesting. Yeah. So it also if you want to get if you want to go through that process, you're going to have to make sure you've got some very, very good legal assistance.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for saying that. Oh, my goodness, because we know that the music industry in particular can be extremely tough. And talking about, for example, those types of reality TV shows. But can you please give any words of advice to people who have decided they wish to pursue music as a career and maybe they're not sure where to start? Obviously, you would be the great starting point. But, is there anything else that you can say they should have in place as well?
Well, it depends. If they want to, if they love music and they want to have a career in the music business, i.e. they want to actually live the lifestyle of a musician and their life, it's really got to be clear, and live their life because they don't want to do anything else, then the first thing they need to do is, if they're really, really keen to get picked up and noticed, is to start to get on the live circuit.
Right.
And start playing, because if you're and it's to you guys who are playing an instrument, or one of my sons is a really good DJ, and he puts his beats together, and it's got very, very little to do. I mean, he'll DJ, but it's got very little to do with actually standing up and performing. You guys actually want to play an instrument and sing and perform, and you get on the live circuit. Really do that, and get yourself listed, because when I was working at Universal in A&R, we used to look at the listings every day, and if people's names kept on turning up, we better go down and look at them.
Right.
That's a really good tip.
Absolutely.
There's people out there who are watching you. If you can keep on showing up at the sort of slightly better venues that are listing their gigs.
Absolutely.
That's a really good tip.
Definitely. Show up and show out. Show up and show out. So as I say in America, because it's like you can't just show up. You've got to go hard or go home. Do your act, and do your songs, perform, blow people away, get noticed.
Yeah.
And
enjoy it.
Absolutely, definitely. You must have fun, because otherwise, what is the point? I mean, it's very hard to break into the music industry in general, as we know, but it seems to be even harder over here in the UK. Would you agree with that? And is there anything that you think the industry as a whole can do to help artists to be discovered more easily?
Wow, that's a difficult one, because, we're in this transition stage where, for instance, labels are, labels are places where you go once you've got a vast fan base. You've got super fans, you've got an online platform of your own, you've established a network of places where you play. That's really when labels get interested, unless there are exceptions. For instance, there are possibly no more than 7 or 8 top management companies in the UK that actually manage all the artists for the labels. Yeah. So, if you really want to hit the big time, you want to get marketed by the major labels, you need to find yourself to a management company. You need to, and that's probably the hardest step, is to get managed. But, it's one thing to play and get on the circuit and get, raise your audiences and also the other thing, the really important thing to do is that it's not about the end product anymore. It's about the relationships that you build along the way. It's so important. Your super fans are the people that watch your progress. The super fans are the people that you communicate with, and you talk. They're the ones who really help grow you, because they want and you can show your vulnerability to them. Yes. And it's important. And what they already see in you is probably what you don't even see in yourself yet, which is the essence of who you are. Wow. So they're very, very key, very, very important. So if you want to grow, labels now they're sort of they're mass growers of audience. That's what they are. You have to reach that stage. So it's different. The industry has changed so much and is constantly changing. It can be hard. It is harder. It is harder because the live venues are getting less and less in this country, which is making it difficult.
Yes, it is. Yes, that's why everybody is going online and doing concerts from their home, almost on YouTube and Facebook Live and things like that. With today's technology and obviously social media, as we've been mentioning, we know it's a great way for artists to put themselves out there and be seen. But is there any other tips that you think artists may be able to use, just little tips to market themselves in the beginning, or is it sort of all out there and they can just choose what they think would help them?
Well, I think what they could do is that try and find see what's going on locally. I don't really know so much about the regions, but in any major city, if you've got a venue where you can play, if there isn't a gig, if there isn't a sort of a regular night, then think about setting one up yourself. I set one up with a great girlfriend called Angelica Campion, who's also a very talented musician, and her husband Kevin Armstrong used to play with Bowie, amongst others. And we set up a night called Pinky Poos, and and because we wanted to play, we wanted to sing, we wanted to invite our friends down, and we had to get people to pay not very much to come in, but we developed something. It actually lasted for 10 years. And the first night we got all our friends down. It was a small venue at the Mass Cafe in All Saints Road in Notting Hill. And the first night, we were absolutely chock-a-block to the gills. The second week, there were 4 of us.
Oh, wow.
Guests. But, we realised we had to kind of do more, and we had to market it. And in fact, we ended up in a 500 capacity theatre doing a show every month, and it was amazing. We got some amazing guests down. So I would suggest start up your own night. From that, we got onto television. We got write-ups in the Evening Standard. We got into magazines. We had people like Robbie Williams come down and see us. We had we from little acorns.
Absolutely fantastic. So it's basically a case of, if you can and you can get the support as well, build it and they will come.
Yeah, well, if you can you can do it. Build it and they will come. Exactly. You can make a deal with the bar owner or the venue owner, And just start small and just say, and start on a night when he hasn't got a lot of clientele in there. Say, I'm going to fill this place up with your friends. We